Biafra has conducted a referendum already. The documentation and the constitution have been submitted to the United Nations, which has been adequately acknowledged as an emerging nation, awaiting global United Nations, powerful nations, world leaders recognition. Simple.
I say to you in front of these vilifications, do not cower. Do not bend. Do not bow your head. Fight back. Because people respect those who respect themselves. And the minorities that fought back, whether it's the blacks or the gays or women, they fought back. And what we have to do as Jews, both here in Israel and in the various Jewish communities around the world, beginning with the United States, is to fight back. Silence will not help. Looking askance will not help. Fight back. That's what I tell you. That's what I tell young Jewish students that I meet. I'm very proud of them when I meet them.
Oh, I think we've won. We've knocked out their Navy, their Air Force. We've knocked out their anti-aircraft. We've knocked out everything. We're roaming free. From a military standpoint, all they're doing is clogging up the strait. But from a military standpoint, they're finished.
We are the messengers of the messenger. We are the representative of this deen of Islam. We have to be the solution. The future is ours. Every ideal nightmare of a Muslim Europe will come true. They can be as mad as they want. I don't care. America will be a Muslim country. Russia will be a Muslim country. Islam will enter every house. We have to be a part of that change. We have to be a part of that da'wah. We have to be a part of those ghuraba who stand firm on our aqidah and our practice and our deen and never ever apologize. We're unapologetic. Never ever compromise. We're uncompromising.
Congress. Yes, it was a resolution by the United States government, Congress. Everything is in place. We are hearing it has already been concluded as in diplomatic talk in that regard has all been agreed. Whether there's going to be a follow-up resolution on Biafra referendum, but I can tell you that every documentation is already ready for the U.S. Congress government to clearly see to Biafran referendum. And like I said before, and I'm still repeating it again, and they are capitalizing on the 50 million referendum conducted by the Biafran government in exile under Mazi Simon Epa. But that is not, by the way, the Northerners are already, giving a certain signal ever since the new deployment by the U.S. government landed somewhere in the north. We are hearing that, they have been held up somewhere in Bauchi, and this has triggered the northern leaders saying, questioning Bola Ahmed Tinubu not to allow any U.S. base in the north. That's what is happening now. And don't be surprised why you see a sudden uproar in the north against Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The north are trying to shift completely from the real thing, attacking Bola Ahmed Tinubu on daily basis, attacking his government, attracting the global and world attention and dimension that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a jihadist, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is working against the north, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is behind the insecurity bombing here and there. Not minding the recent deployment of the C-19 Hercules plane that landed with over 200 let me say battalion, American US battalion soldiers. Yes, I think battalion is about 300. We are talking about 200. They have landed. Remember before now, we have had subsequent military deployment by the US government presently in different zones in Nigeria currently now. But the mission, why they landed in Bauchi, according to what we are hearing, I hope that report is very correct. In that regard, they have already landed. Meaning, they thought the American president are actually going to look to that side. Considering what is actually going on in the Middle East currently now. And of course, the Iran war is ongoing, and I can tell you, in a matter of days, I think absolute tranquility will return in the Middle East, because US and America, US and Israel would have taken care of that. You know, but that does not mean that those who are in charge, ever since Nigeria was designated as a country of particular concern, are working out every day and now. But let me just give you, don't be surprised why the Sultan of Sokoto is attacking Bola Ahmed Tinubu, daring Bola Ahmed Tinubu to try rise up against the jihadists, take the fight to them.
Do you not think is pressured to do this because you know that the Congress are debating about the freedom of the Igbos?
Of course, that's what we are saying now.
He's talking about unity.
Yeah, he's talking about unity that cannot hold now. Since you don't want to understand very clearly what the conditions for unity is all about. Now, you cannot meet up such conditions. One of the conditions is that you must suspend anything that has to do with caliphate, Sokoto Caliphate, and you say it's not possible. Then banning completely of anything that has to do with Sharia. We know that very clearly that Nigeria is running a Sharia constitution-based government. That's not Bola Ahmed Tinubu knows about that, you know. And thirdly, you must agree that Nigeria will have to sit up together and allow Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to live unconditionally. And they said these conditions cannot be fulfilled by the northern government powered by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And since it cannot work to that extent, the best option now is to allow Nigeria to split, you know, so that you can go and practice your Sharia somewhere. You can go and do whatever you like with your own region. As simple as that. And let every region that is not part of the Biafra map be given a referendum. Biafra has conducted a referendum already. The documentation and the constitution have been submitted to the United Nations, which has been adequately acknowledged as an emerging nation, awaiting global United Nations, powerful nations, world leaders recognition. Simple. And the countries who are of the most powerful nation on earth, their parliament, you know, or let me say their Congress, according to their own type of Senate, has already, you know, documented, giving their own resolution on Biafran, you know, referendum, which has also given us the power, you know, to begin to have a certain privileges as an emerging nation waiting for recognition. Like I always said, Biafra has been a nation waiting for recognition. So we must understand where the United Nations, the United States government must understand clearly the position, must state it very clearly. We are not here for diplomatic engagement anymore. United States government should, the congressmen, the Rally Moore, and the Rabio Mako, you know, Ted Cruz, you know, and the more, Michael Lord, and so many of them should understand that this is not about diplomacy anymore. We must state it very clearly that they have rejected the options of national unity. And since they have rejected those options, the US government should also enact their own option. And one of the options is disintegration. The US government should also learn from experience. When Arafat in 1979, we are begging Israeli government to allow them have a small space. That small space that was given to them according to Abraham Accord, that was where they developed Palestinians' arms wing called Hamas. They cohabited. Biafra cannot afford to cohabit with the Northerners anymore. The best thing is to split the country, because the real agenda is total Islamization. Don't be surprised. They are thinking that the Yoruba Muslims are not going to be affected. They are definitely going to be affected, because we know that the majority of Christians in Nigeria are residing in the south, and they are the one the world knows, the world recognizes as people who want to stay on their own as a secular nation recognized by United Nations. Our constitution is there. It's there on the table, and it was acknowledged as a secular constitution with Christian values as a nation. That is what it is. So when you see the Northerners, start attacking Bola Ahmed Tinubu now, they are trying to remove themselves. They are not the one behind the insecurity in the country. Go and holler Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Brutai is saying the same thing. Gumi is saying the same thing. Northern governors are saying the same thing. All of them are saying the same thing. This government, hold this government, responsible. How come that the North suddenly became have this understanding that Brutai have just left office is saying that this government is Gumi is saying the same thing. Sultan of Sokoto say, I dare you, so what is actually going on? Have they just realized that something is about to play out at the end of the day? Most of them are saying that it is even better, that we lose Nigeria than to lose our relationship with Biafrans, because they know the implications at the end of the day. And we are also hearing that in case the United States of America and Israel finally take decision on Nigeria, that the northern political elite and some professionals have set up a committee to lobby the IPOB members abroad in case Nigeria please, that they want to establish a bilateral relationship, for them to continue to build some kind of treaties because of the enormous resources, that is in the Biafra land. They prefer Biafra than Nigeria.
Despite what they know that the Igbos have passed through, Indians of this Fulani and the Yorubas, do you think that they will accept this offer that you're talking about?
Yes, it will come to that point because the entire Nigerian politicians in Biafra now, will not be given any chance to negotiate for the IPOB government. Yes, and I can tell you, conditions will have to be met. We want to establish bilaterals the way it's supposed to be, but we don't know yet whether at the inception and the takeoff of the federal government, whether they will allow any kind of agreement between the northern bloc and the Biafran nation in terms of getting them energy, oil and gas at the end of the day. That will be something I cannot guarantee you now. But from behind, we are even hearing that they have told Bola Ahmed Tinubu to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu because they have seen the reality on ground that Biafra is taking upper hand, and that it is better they be in the side of Biafra than to be in the side of Nigeria. And in case it happens, at least they will not lose, they will not go desolate, their economy will not crumble. They will still have one or two things to do with the Biafran government at the end of the day.
We saw Imam saying that just like he said, that Tinubu should not be voted for. And from the way we are looking at it, do you not think Tinubu might be the last president of Nigeria?
Yes.
Because now the Yoruba are saying Tinubu, just like the likes of Igbo, are saying Tinubu must complete. Even after 2031, Tinubu must continue. But northern elders are saying it's as if Tinubu might be the last president of Nigeria if this US military persists on staying in Nigeria, the northern part of Nigeria.
Let me just tell you that Sunday boy is sounding like a loose tire. That statement is a nuisance to the Yoruba nation. But let me tell you that of course that is going to is not going to be possible. It looks like the agitation to put Tinubu back is not going to be by force. The North have rejected him as it stands now, and they are already blaming his government over the killings that is happening in Nigeria. And they even dare him that since people who are sponsoring Boko Haram and insecurity in Nigeria is in their government, name them. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is silent over that. He has not been able to do anything about signaling that their time is up. And secondly, the Northerners are not happy that Tinubu exposed a hidden secret of how Nigeria was being run before he came into that position by allowing Yorubas to infiltrate the security structure and the secret confidentiality of this country. Therefore, having access to classified files that exposes the real jihadist Islamic agenda in Nigeria. and thereby exposing some of these files to some security agencies around the world. And now it leaked entirely, and that is why the northern leaders are insisting that they do not want Bola Ahmed Tinubu back in 2027, and possibly in the anger of that, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is signaling and likely going to be the last president of Nigeria if the world leader finally decide on the issue of country of a particular concern placed on Nigeria.
But the of Donald Trump, those that want to say is a popular Biafra Jesse Okechukwu, a former actor and a Biafra analyst. He has met with Riley Moore and some top US senator. But what he's saying now, he's saying this will fight against Iran by the US and the Israel would not stop Biafra from finally getting what he truly deserves. Do you think that after this war, because Trump is giving Iran 48 hours to open Hormuz, that after this, that Biafra will finally be focused on? Do you think that Trump, just like other past US presidents, do you think Trump have what it takes to finally declare Biafra?
Trump has 100%. Trump has 100%, just like what we saw here, what he did in Israel, how he was able to move the capital of Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. And there are constitutional powers that Trump can actually invoke to recognize Biafra. He has it, and he knows very clearly that he has what it takes, to do it. Considering the position and some of the foreign policies of our American constitution and government, what they believed in, the ideology, are trying to protect Christians all over the world. They have what it takes to recognize Biafra. We are not saying declare Biafra. We are saying recognize Biafra because Biafra is in existence. Recognize Biafra as a nation. And if they are not able to do it, maybe because of the position of America within this space, and I can tell you, they can shift the responsibility to the Israeli government. Benjamin Netanyahu will just announce it, and the American government will definitely back it up. That is to say, if American government feel otherwise, like what the report of Riley Moore is actually saying, then look at what the happenings in Iran. Of course, let me tell you very clearly, any moment from now, the Strait of Hormuz will be reopened. It will be a little bit dangerous because the world has understood now that with NATO or without NATO, the American government has taken that responsibility to open the Strait of Hormuz, either by omission or by commission. And that is what America represents. Like other countries, we are seeing them very clearly now pretending as if they are not of any beneficiary interest in that Strait of Hormuz. But America has taken that responsibility, and they're going to achieve it, and Donald Trump is going to achieve it. And people are saying that immediately after that, directions might be shifted to Nigeria, directions might be shifted to Cuba, directions might be shifted to other places where America want to establish some level of government for the betterment of humanity all over the world. And that is what it is. Whether they not like it or not, as it stands now, whether Bola Ahmed Tinubu likes it or not, as it stands now, the reality on ground have shifted from the influence of Nigeria, from the power of Nigeria, from the overwhelming federal strength of Nigeria on the separation of Nigeria. It has taken a global dimension, and the world are taking decisions in that regard.
Mr. President, in anticipation of Eid al-Fitr in Nigeria and across the world, I can only wish you and the millions of Muslims in our countries Eid Mubarak. And in doing so, let me propose a toast to the President and people of Nigeria. Niger no day carry last.
Now, look, this is all well and good, but can I just say, King Charles acknowledged the Muslim leader's sacrifice during Ramadan in today's state banquet speech. Now, this comes amid a backdrop of yesterday's news, which is calls for the King to cancel his trip to America, because there's a war with Iran and President Trump is a very bad man, OK? In Nigeria, 3,500 Christians have been slaughtered by Islamists for their belief, an actual genocide taking place there. Within the last year or so, right? That is obviously not coming up in this meeting, is it? And whilst the Nigerian president and the regime deny vehemently they're involved, they have faced significant criticism from international leaders and human rights groups about their lack of effort to prevent the slaughter of Christians by Islamist groups. Yep. Why are we welcoming this guy with open arms? Why isn't King Charles calling it out?
Well, we have two-tier justice, evidently, in Britain. I think we also have two-tier international relations, Patrick, that we appear to hold different countries to different standards. So kind of orange man bad means that we can't possibly go and talk to Donald Trump. But Nigeria, no questions asked. Even on Keir Starmer's recent visit to China, we didn't manage to get, I don't think the Jimmy Lai case was raised, even though he's a British citizen. So there is not an equal application of standards. Now, I would engage pretty much with all countries. North Korea and Iran might be the exceptions. But if you are going to engage with them, I think you should be very clear where you believe they are letting down humanity.
I think you have to take the bigger picture with Nigeria, because this has just come out of the blue to us. Why Nigeria? It's not just on a whim. You said you can't believe that he's going to raise this issue of the 3,500 Christians. This may be the very reason they brought him here, soft power, state banquet and all of that, in a way of getting in there and saying, look, what the hell's going on? You've got to stop this.
It's interesting, because King Charles is the leader of the Church of England, and if as a prominent, one of the most prominent Christian figures in the world, to be throwing your arms around the leader of a country that is currently seeing the mass slaughter of Christians, and to deliver a speech there that basically almost entirely focuses on Ramadan, I just
but that's fair enough.
If Israel was somehow involved in this, it would be on the front page of every newspaper. No disrespect, no Jews, no news. And that is the case with this. This is a genocide happening in Nigeria, and there's only a few commentators that want to talk about it. I'm one of them that will speak about it online. People are too scared to. Why?
What about the genocide in Sudan? Nobody talks about that.
But surely,
not even you, Adam.
Surely anyone who is OK with this Nigerian banquet has to be completely OK with the King going to the USA, right?
Exactly.
Completely OK with it. No questions asked.
I agree with that completely. There we go. Right, look, we'll cover this more a bit later on. No doubt it'll be on one of the front pages. But look, just before I tell you what else we've got on, it is time for the great...
Israel has a thriving Christian community, the only thriving Christian community in the broad radius of the Middle East, where Christians are not tolerated, they're cherished. You can light Christmas trees in Nazareth. But in Bethlehem, the birthplace of Jesus, when Israel left and the Palestinian Authority came in, the Christian majority shrank from 80% to under 20%. Because there was no more Israel to protect them. We cherish our Christian friends. We protect the Christian holy sites, not only the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, but in the Galilee, not only in Nazareth, but in the Galilee, in Capernaum, where Jesus preached for 3 years. We uphold and cherish those sites. So Israel, the guardian of Christianity in the Middle East,
in this our country, Nigeria, many people think that what is happening around the world is a joke. Do you think they are joking around the world? Or do you think they are saying you don't know what is social media? Don't you know that social media is very powerful, and a video can go viral around the world, and in somewhere around the world that you are referring to, they can see the video? Do you think it costs America anything to throw a missile into Nigeria? Or do you think it costs Israel anything to throw a missile into Nigeria? Please, that Allah, I beg you in the name of Almighty Allah, I beg you, please mind what you are saying. If you stand with Iran or you stand with any country, you have to mention your name. You have to say, for example, your name is Musa. You will say, I, Musa, from so part of Nigeria, stand with Iran. You cannot just come out, only you, and come and speak on behalf of Nigeria. There is no one group that can come out and come and say, Nigeria stand with Iran. No, the only person that can do that is the government. If the government is saying that they stand with Iran, it means that they are ready to fire missile. Not you or one group will come out and say, because of one group is coming out to say, to protest, they will now generalize it and say it's Nigeria. Please, please, the way they are sending missile left, right, and center, please, let us be mindful. Please, let us be mindful. I just saw a news whereby it is on Facebook. Go and check it. Israeli defense page posted it that they have received a threat from a certain man in River State. They posted Asari Dokubo's picture there and the video where Asari Dokubo was saying that if American soldiers come and say they want to take the oil in the South, that they would take their life. The video is on their page. They say they are aware. One video you do can go viral and they will see it. Which one is some people will just come out and say they stand with Iran? You will go and tag it. Even the news platform, you people are not even being careful. You just go and tag it and say we Nigerian stand with Iran. Don't do that. Don't generalize it. Let us not go and bring problems that with the one in our house, we have not finished facing it. Please, Allah, please. Please, we don't have bunkers in Nigeria where we can go and hide for missile. We don't even have air defense system, something that can even fight the missile in the air. Please, we don't have all this. Don't look for trouble. Why you don't do that? How about that, Allah? If one person in the north is not happy with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the person come out and say he's not happy with Tinubu, you can't just do a news and say northern Nigeria is not happy. No! That person is speaking for himself. He's not speaking on behalf of the northern Nigeria. No, don't do that. How can some people come out and you now say Nigeria? No. If they now look at it, they say, okay, Nigeria stand, before you know that they stand. I please that Allah. There is nobody that will fight for us. Also, I'm hearing breaking news that if the war continue in Iran and between Iran and America and Israel, I'm hearing that petrol will go to 1,000 naira. I want to ask, what is our business with the war? What is the business between the war that is happening and our oil in Nigeria, or our fuel price in Nigeria? When there was stability in Iran and between America and Iran and Israel, the fuel did not go down. So what will now make the war make the fuel to go up? Please, make me to understand. If there's anybody watching this video, can you make me understand why it will affect our fuel price, and fuel price will now go to 1,000? Please, that Allah, when we have oil in our country, we have Dangote that do the oil, that turn it into fuel. Dangote supply fuel. So how come we will now get, how will it get to the point that because of the war, our fuel price is going to go to 1,000? Make me to understand. Why do we like to take advantage of situations? That any advantage that you will use and hit the poor masses, you will dive it. Please, that let's respect ourselves. Let us respect ourselves. That Allah, please. We're talking about the fuel to go down. You are trying to say it to go up. Please, please, I beg you, don't do it. And for those of you that will come out and you have a problem with a particular country and you are protesting, please, news platform, beware. Don't generalize it. It's not everybody. You that want to fight America, can you identify yourself and go to a neutral ground, find one place and go, and let them be aware that you are there, so that you and them can fight? For us that don't want war, we don't want to fight, please don't generalize or don't say Nigeria. Please. That Allah, please. I come in peace. Even as I'm talking, some people will say, this one na coward, this one na sell out, this one. I'm just saying that I'm a lover of peace. It is not a bad thing. It's not a bad choice to make. This is me. I love peace. I don't like this one that I'm hearing the missile. I don't. My mind is not settled. You see Dubai, they didn't do anything. Oh, they sent missile to them. You see Bahrain, they didn't do anything. Oh, missile got to them. You see Qatar, Kuwait, missile got to them. They didn't do anything. How much more you that is protesting and standing for? Please hide us. Hide us. I bring you breaking news. My name is Malan Shaibu. They call me the Spice Creator. You can Google me if you like. Don't Google me. That is your business. But please, everything I have said in this video, from the beginning to the end, is allegedly per Tor.